Ladies and gentlemen, happy Memorial Day weekend. I am your host, the face that runs the place, John R. Highness. Today I'm joined with Assemblywoman Angelica Jimenez. Angie, thanks so much for joining us on late notice.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is always nice to see you.
You're too kind. So, Angie, obviously there's no shortage of topics to talk about in West New York, which is often the case. But let's first focus on the Democratic committee race coming up on June 5th. So, obviously there's two slates, one headed by Mayor Felix Roque and the other by the Hudson County Democratic Organization, which is a number of people, including yourself, Commissioners Cosmo Cirillo, Margarita Guzman, Gabriel Rodriguez, and of course Congressman Series, and I'm sure I can name a whole bunch of others. But again, another case of infighting in West New York. How do you see it?
I feel positive about it. I mean, we're working hard to get our senator reelected for November, so that's been our biggest that's our biggest challenge. But it's really not a challenge because Senator Menendez has done so much for our community and for the state of New Jersey. Unfortunately, there is some fighting, which was a distraction, I feel, for the senator, especially this being an election year for him and for our congressman. But it's not new to Hudson County. It's not new to West New York. But I feel very comfortable and I feel very positive that that our whole slate will get in. And we're working very hard between myself, between Commissioner Cirillo, Commissioner Guzman, Commissioner Rodriguez, and Congressman Series. We've been working very hard to make this happen. And our committee people are very animated and they're excited and they know that this is about our senator. They know that this is about our community, and they don't want to see anybody from the outside that doesn't belong in West New York to be part of this. So that's
I have no idea who that could possibly be.
That's basically, that's basically how it rolls here in West New York. I'm a very proud West New Yorker, so
I know. So you're like Babe Ruth calling the home run. You're calling the clean sweep right now.
I am. I really am. I feel good about it. It has been done in the past, and it will be done again. And I feel good. I feel good about it. And we're working hard, so can't take that away from the people. And that's the bottom line. Do the right thing, and the good results will follow.
Alrighty. So then just 2 days later, there's a fundraiser that you're obviously well aware of. West New York Stability 2019 is the name of this new committee that's obviously going to have some candidates that will eventually be the five-person slate who runs against the mayor and his five-person slate. So what could you tell us about this event and its significance in your eyes?
Well, as it states on the ticket itself, it's about the stability of our town. I'm happy about it. I'm happy that the town is going to move forward. But John, my biggest concern right now is this election. Working hard to get these numbers, the numbers that we need, and I'm focusing all my energies right now on this election. And I know that Cosmo and Margarita and Gabe are doing the same. That's something that is going to happen. That event will happen, and I know that one will do very well also. But our focus is this primary, getting what we need to accomplish done, and then that'll take one challenge at a time.
One day at a time. I got it.
That's how I'm focusing. I can't waste my energy on anything else other than this election. Getting those numbers there for Senator Menendez and getting those numbers there for Congressman Series and our committee people, and including I have our my colleague, Assemblyman Pedro Mejia. He's also on the ballot now in June. So we've got to make sure we have a nice turnout and getting our great Democrats elected.
So it's quietly shaping up to be a pretty important primary.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, I'm a proud West New Yorker, and I campaign hard. I never lose a fight that I don't take on. I never lose one. And the bottom bottom line is that we are focused on what we have, the job that has to be done, and that's what we're going to accomplish. And June 5th, will be the bottom line.
So on top of those important seats that are relevant to D.C., of course, Congressman Series, Senator Menendez, on the local level, this is so important because of the Hudson County Democratic Organization chair vote. Not that you need me to tell you or anyone else. But, we have State Senator, Union City Mayor Brian Stack, who you alluded to earlier, and we have the Jersey City Board of Education trustee, Amy DeGees, of course, the daughter of County Exec Tom DeGees. So basically, that's why this one's from all the marbles from your perspective, correct, on June 5th?
Well, like I said, this right now, this is about West New York, getting my people, the people that I believe are the progressive ones for my town, West New York. In the bigger picture, when it comes to our HCDO chair, I cannot be happier to have Amy be the one to be running. As a woman, she's young, she's got the progressive democratic values, and I'm all for empowering all women and getting more women involved in a world that's always been basically run by men. So to have Amy there, she's been taking the bull by the horns, and she's campaigning hard in Jersey City, her hometown, and I could not be happier. I'm really proud of her because I know that she will. I know that she's going to do it. I really know she will, and I have faith because she's such a hard worker, and that's what it's about. She's a Jersey City girl,
sure.
Just like I'm a West New York girl, and we will move forward doing what we have to do to get to our goal, and I know she's going to do well.
So you're feeling pretty confident?
I am. It's all about numbers, John, and something, I feel very, this is not, unlike what, it's, it's, the reality, it's not, it's about Hudson County.
Okay.
I concern myself with my town, of course, because this is the town I live in. I mean, I represent 7 other Hudson County towns. Mm-hmm. So, but it's not about one town in particular. My parents left Cuba, dictatorship. It's not about that one person. No, this is about Hudson County. The HCDO chair has always been there for Hudson County, and we want to keep it that way. And I know that Amy has that in mind. And I'm looking forward to working with her. And we're going to prevail. We're going to win this.
Okay. So, again, needless to tell you, but just to rehash, just in case anyone's just catching up, this whole split amongst the parties started when Stack and Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop came out in March and said, we're not going to support Tom DeGees in 2019. They basically have just said, we think it's time for a change. We don't think the fire's in the belly, and, other phrases along those lines. They basically said he's mailing it in. So, when that all came about, obviously, I wasn't expecting it. I'm assuming most people weren't. What was your reaction when that came out and the 2 coalitions started forming, of course, the pro-DeGees and the anti-DeGees?
Well, something from my understanding, Senator Stack, about a week previous, had spoken to County Executive DeGees and had told him how happy he was with him. The executive is a man of his word. The only thing I have is my word. I run under the great Senator Sacco. He's always been a man of his word. And if you can't, shake on it and be old school and, say, I'm going to support you, and then go back on it, I mean, that really goes to show on leadership. It doesn't show me much on leadership when you go back on your word like that. So it's not about Union City. It's not about him and just want what he wants. Listen, I admire that they love him in his community. I admire that. That's a good thing. But when you're the chairman, you are the chairman to all of Hudson County. And I really don't think that he has that in mind. I think he concerns himself with just his community and forgets that it's not about Union City. This is about all of us in Hudson County. So, and he's a senator. he's also a mayor. Okay, now let's give somebody else an opportunity. Why not give it to a woman? Why not give it to somebody that is young? Give her the opportunity. She won an election in Jersey City, and she's a bright young woman. She deserves it, and she's a Jersey City girl. She deserves it. And you know something, it's not about everything for me and nothing for you. So I look at it that way too.
So you think it would be too many titles and too much political power for one person?
You know, I think for him, you know, I mean, it works for him in Union City, what he does, and that's all fine and dandy. But for Hudson County, I think that it should be for somebody that is young and has the progressive values that Amy has. And listen, I want to see a woman in there. So I'm all in support of her. And of course, I love her dad. He's a good man. He's been very good as our county executive. He's been there for all of the towns. Okay, if not, he wouldn't be as long as he has been in there. Like 2 weeks previous, he had spoken to the G's and told him he was okay and he was happy. And then all of a sudden, you change your mind like that. I don't know. That doesn't sound. It doesn't sound right to me. Either you have your word, you keep your word, and you just don't dictate to people. This is what I'm going to do with you. When I'm done with you, you're out the door. It doesn't work that way.
Understand that the timing certainly has some questions, probably most of which we won't get concrete answers to. But I guess that's here nor there. I guess the past is the past at this stage of the game. But with that in mind, like I just mentioned, there was some discussion among the full-up and stack contingency that, again, county government's stale, county government's ineffective, inconsistent. From your perspective, obviously you see it the opposite. Why do you think that, though?
I think it's moving forward. I mean, we have a new school that's being built. It's beautiful. It's going to be built, I think, it's almost completed. I think they'll probably be moving in next year. And he's had so many projects all over our county that have moved forward, that have done very well. And as an assemblywoman, as a legislator, I mean, he's there for all of us. I mean, I know that if I need him, call him. This is going on. Is it being addressed? He's always there for everybody. I know he's there for all the mayors, including Union City. So. I think he's got, like, they gave him the raw end of the deal with, the senator. Listen, Senator Stack has his agenda. That's his agenda. My agenda is moving the county forward, moving the 32nd district forward, moving our community forward. It's not about just my town. It's about Hudson County in general. And that's what it's about. And, like I said, right now, I need to make sure that we get Colin May, we get our Senator Menendez in, and get Congressman Series and get Pedro Mejia in, and the rest of our slate. That's my biggest focus. And then come reorg, that'll be the next great chapter. And I know that we will do fine because it's about the numbers. And one town just doesn't hold it all. It's a few other. It's 12 towns in total. And Tom has the support of most of the towns. So I feel really confident that we're going to pull this through.
All right, then. So let's rewind a little bit. Let's bring it back to the local level here in West New York. So a little history lesson for people that don't know. Back when I came on the scene in late 2011, you and Mayor Roque were not on the greatest terms. And then the 2015 election was coming upon us. And long story short, everyone came together. The party backed Mayor Roque at his slate. Now, this is, of course, the abridged version. We're coming to 2019. Clearly, there's a split again, and there's going to be two different tickets. So, you've seen a lot more than I have in that time, which is saying something, I think. So, I mean, what's your whole take on the Roque administration up to this point?
John, I don't like to analyze why he does what he does or makes the moves that he has made. I have always been one to focus on my job at hand and what is in the best interest of my community. He decided to split, and go against three of his other, of his commissioners, which is sad. I mean, because right there, that's a sign, maybe he's not doing something that he should be doing. You guys all have to work as a team, and obviously he hasn't. And it's sad for our town. So come next year, we'll see what happens, but obviously there is movement, and the movement will be something that the end result will always be what people decide, and we just have to show the people this is what we have to offer. And something people know. They go out there, they talk to us. I mean, I'm a text away. Most people see me all the time. They see Commissioner Cirillo, they see Commissioner Guzman. We're so readily accessible to everybody, to the community at hand, and they know who's in the best interest of their community, and I feel good that next year, when it comes around, that things will fall into place as they usually do, and the people will make the right decision, and things will go well.
All right, so speaking of next year, there's also the North Bergen commissioner race, where, of course, they'll ultimately decide the mayor. Nick Sacco will seek re-election. I don't think that's breaking news to anybody. And we'll see what happens with the ticket. But you're also well aware, in recent memory, Mayor Roque decided to endorse Larry Weinstein for the next North Bergen mayor. Again, that was a curveball for me. I mean, what did you think when you heard this news?
You don't want to know what I thought.
I think I do.
I think that gentleman that has run against Senator Sacco has been crushed every time he has run against him. North Bergen, the mayor in North Bergen provides some of the best services I have ever seen in the state. The community, they love him and his commissioners. He is fair. I know, listen, I've got my biases because I love him. He's my senator. He's a senator that I run under, and something to me, he's been a mentor to me because he's basically, he took me by the hand back in 2011. He gave me the opportunity, Latina, yes, I was born in New York, but he gave me the opportunity to be part of something so much bigger. And I respect him, I admire him, and I thank him for it. I admire the way he runs his community. The people love him. The services he provides are great. Every election he does incredibly well, okay? And when Mayor Roque decided to endorse this man, I was
You're not going
shocked.
to say his name? It's like a Donald Trump
No,
thing?
I don't waste my energy on that. I really don't. It doesn't make sense.
It's your prerogative.
I know Nick crushed them. They do all the time because they know the community knows. They know what they have with Mayor Sacco.
So how would you rationalize this one?
You can't. You can't rationalize it. And like I said, I'm not a shrink. I'm not. I don't rationalize what people do, and you can't. Sometimes you can't. I just focus on what I have to get done, and spend and put my energy into that. I know that next year's election in North Bergen, I know that he will campaign every single day because that is Mayor Sacco's style. He campaigns hard. He has people that campaign with him every day, rain, snow. He is a heavy-duty campaigner. I remember last election, I had a birthday party in March, and there was a crazy snowstorm. He actually showed up with some of his commissioners. He walked, he was campaigning, and he came soaking wet with the rain and the snow, and that's his style. He works hard. He provides the services that the town needs. That's why they love him, and I don't think anybody else has done that. So for this mayor to endorse that man, I don't know why.
Perplexing?
It's extremely perplexing, but that's some people are somewhat perplexing, so, but that's neither here nor there.
Sure.
We just have to focus on maybe getting somebody that in this town, getting somebody in that will do what's right for this town and will concern himself with his town and or her town. That's the bottom line. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be another hurdle. Right now, we're going to focus on June 5th and
you got to go in chronological order. I totally get that, of course.
That's it.
But I'm glad you made that point, though, about West New York needs somebody, whether it's he or she, that puts the community first. So I understand June 5th is important. I understand June 12th is important, too. But at June 7th, what can people expect that day? Will we get any clearer picture about who's going to head this ticket? Or who will be on the ticket at all?
I don't think so. I think there's still time. We have time for that. That's that's nothing that things change in the political spectrum of things.
Heard.
I mean, so the whole idea is making sure that you get somebody that is on the right page. That all 5 commissioners are on the right page and want what's in the best interest of their town, just like they do in North Bergen, just like they do in other towns. I mean, that's the whole idea. Once you have the right ticket, people will see it, and these got to be people that are part of the community, that the people know, and that's going to be the focus. That'll be another challenge, but it's something that will be done, and I have faith that working hard with the right people, they'll move forward and they'll win.
Would it be fair to characterize you as someone who would be interested in potentially heading a ticket against Mayor Roque?
Listen, I'm going to be running next year. I plan on being on the top of the ticket for in the Assembly because we are running. We will see what happens with everything else. I mean, like I said, anything can happen, anything can change. But my focus is the 32nd District, West New York being part of that.
Of course.
I have all faith in Cosmo and Margarita and Gabe. I know that they're committed to our town.
Sounds like they could use 2 more people on the ticket, though, right?
Absolutely, and they will, and there will be. It's going to be the right 2 people. But like I said, I focus on one challenge, one thing at a time. I'm not going to go crazy looking into the future. I've got to make sure we get our candidates in there.
I got the point. It's early. But it was worth asking. So, at the very, very, I guess, almost microscopic local level, a lot of people don't always follow what happens at these Board of Commissioners meetings. But as, Mayor Roque and Commissioner Sucala-Curcio, who are obviously are supporting Senator Stack and Mayor Fulop in this whole endeavor, they've certainly run into some problems in recent memory. Obviously, there's no more police escorts. Mayor Roque can no longer sign off on the payroll. There's a potential of shared services agreement with the health department. And, Mayor Roque said at the last meeting, as I'm sure you probably saw it or at least read, he's calling this playing politics. I mean, how do you see it from as a West New York perspective, as an elected official perspective?
Well, it is part of politics, but, as elected officials, we are in the, our whole, the idea is to do what's right for our community, to make the best decisions that we can to save our taxpayers money. That is what our job is to do. Now, did he like it? Did he not? Well, that was his problem, but it's not, as a taxpayer, I want what's in the best interest of my town. I mean, that's what the commissioners were doing. That was what they did, and I was happy that they made the right choice, and that's what it's about. That's what being good leadership and governing your municipality the way it has to be done. You got to do what's in the best interest of the community, not what's in the best interest of yourself. It's what's at their in their benefit.
So from the outside looking in, you just felt like it was good governance and there was nothing personal.
Absolutely. It's never personal.
Well, never say never, but...
Well, sometimes things change, I mean, but you can't take it too personally.
I would agree with that. So, Angie, I would be remiss today if we didn't talk at least about a little legislation about what you're up to in Trenton. Obviously, a lot of these bills end up falling beneath the cracks. And I know that there was one about healthcare, of course, the industry you work in, that you were pretty pleased with. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that if you'd be so inclined?
It's as a matter of fact, it's a CNA ratio in nursing homes. As you're well aware, when you go into most of these nursing homes, there are lots of patients, very little staff, or the ratio from patient to assisted CNA, which is the certified nursing assistant, is very low. Usually one CNA is there to help sometimes 20 patients. So what this piece of legislation did was it set a ratio in place during the day, how many patients to the nurse, to the CNA, to the certified nurse, at mid-shift. There was the ratio for there, and then the evening shift, the overnight shift, a set amount of patients to the certified nursing assistant. And it set those guidelines because, as it is, the state of New Jersey, they have some sort of guidelines. Are they really enforced? They're not. And we've seen it, and this is in an area where these patients really can't speak up for themselves. Some of them have Alzheimer's, some of them are bedridden, and you need to have that premium care because they suffer from bed sores, which then in turn, if they're not properly cared for, complicated, they go back into the hospital setting for sepsis or other different complications, and that's something that then costs, makes our healthcare cost raises that. So this is something that is small in the large scale of things. Having a set ratio will help the staff. It will be beneficial. It's about good patient care, and I was really happy with that.
Has this gone to committee yet?
It did go to committee, and I'm hoping that it'll get voted on in one of our voting sessions. So I'm looking forward to that.
You think it'll make it before the budget?
I hope so. I really do. I think it will, but you never know. I mean, right now things are so busy in Trenton with the budget and all of that. That's the biggest thing. So will it? We'll see. It's going to make it sooner or later, but it's something that's really important and it's really needed. These are our seniors, and some of them are not even seniors. Some of them are just patients that can't be home and take care of themselves. And unfortunately, their family cannot stay home with them. So.
Very good, Assemblywoman. And any parting thoughts for us today?
No, just happy to see you. It's always nice to see you, and thank you for being fair. You've always been pretty fair with all of us.
Making me blush. I wore one of my best shirts today. So.
You see, green is a good color.
Thanks. All right, Assemblywoman, we really appreciate it. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. For all our great veterans out there, God bless you. Thanks for this wonderful holiday we got going up. Everyone enjoy the day off. Have a fantastic weekend.